This is a story about a little girl named Emma, a story about love so big it couldn't fit inside one small heart. Emma was 8 years old. Her whole world existed inside a tiny apartment in a rundown neighborhood, a place where even sunlight seemed hesitant to enter. But inside those four walls lived the one thing that made her world whole: her mother, Clara. Clara was everything to Emma. Her mother, her best friend, her safe place. To Emma, Clara was her very own piece of sky, someone whose presence made every sadness disappear. But for 6 long months, that sky had been slowly filling with clouds. Clara had fallen seriously ill. The treatment she needed cost money that felt like an impossible dream for a family like theirs. With Emma's father long gone, Clara was her only anchor in the world. One day, Clara's breathing became so bad that Emma managed to get her to the local hospital with the help of a neighbor. That was the day everything changed. Dr. Harris, a kind and gentle physician, examined Clara carefully. Then he knelt down to Emma's level and said the words that changed everything. "Your mom needs surgery. It's urgent, and it will cost at least $10,000. $10,000. To Emma, it might as well have been the moon, but she did not cry. She looked at Dr. Harris and said, "I will get the money. You just save my mom." And she meant every word. She walked out of those hospital doors with $10,000 pressing down on her small shoulders, and her mother's voice echoing in her heart. "Never hold your hand out to anyone. Money earned by your own hard work is the only money that's truly yours." She went looking for work. A coffee shop turned her away. A household that needed dishes washed. Her hands were simply too small. Door after door closed. But Emma remembered her mother's words. Hard work never goes to waste. And she kept going. Then she noticed people selling flowers on street corners all over the city. She went home, opened her mother's old sewing box, and began making small bouquets by hand. They were simple, but every single one was made with love. Every morning she sat in a quiet corner outside the hospital and tried to sell her flowers. The first day, not one sold. People smiled. Some pitied her. But Emma held on. She whispered to herself, "I'm doing this for you, Mom." Then one afternoon, a businessman walking past slowed down. Something made him stop. He looked at this tiny girl and saw something in her eyes he couldn't quite explain. He asked her why she was there. Emma told him everything, simply, honestly, without asking for anything, just the truth. Her mother was sick, she needed surgery, and Emma was earning the money herself. The man bought every single bouquet she had. He pressed extra money into her small hands and said, "The love you have for your mother is worth more than $1,000. Her story spread through the neighborhood. People began coming to buy her flowers. Some tried to simply give her money, but Emma always politely refused. "My mom taught me to stand on my own 2 feet," she would say. Week by week, she saved every coin, every bill. She kept it all in a small cloth pouch beside her mother's sewing box, and every night, before she slept, she would whisper to the darkness, "A little more, Mom, just a little more." A month later, Emma walked back into the hospital. She laid her small pouch of coins and folded bills on Dr. Harris's desk. He counted slowly. $1,200 against $10,000. It was almost nothing. And yet, it was everything she had. Dr. Harris placed his hand gently on her head and said, You have tried so hard. Your love for your mother is enormous, but this won't be enough for the surgery." And for the first time, Emma let herself cry. At that exact moment, a nurse rushed in. Clara's condition had collapsed. She needed surgery. Right now, Emma ran. Clara was barely conscious. Emma took her mother's hand in both of hers and pressed it to her cheek. She whispered, "Mom, please don't leave me. I'll buy you a piece of sky, I promise." Dr. Harris stood in the doorway and watched, and in that moment, he made a decision. He went to the hospital's charitable board and arranged the remaining funds himself, because he understood this operation would not just save one life, it would save a child's faith in the world. The surgery was a success. Clara was going to live. With a small part of her savings, Emma bought her mother a soft blue scarf. To Emma, that blue scarf was a piece of sky, open, warm, and free, something she had promised and finally delivered. When Clara opened her eyes, Emma was right there. She placed the blue scarf gently in her mother's hands. Clara pulled it to her chest and wept, not from pain, from love. She pulled Emma close and whispered, "My darling girl, you brought me a piece of sky." Emma rested her head on her mother's shoulder and said, "You are my sky, Mom. How could I ever survive without you?" Emma's journey had saved more than one life. It reminded an entire community, and perhaps you, watching right now, that the greatest treasure any of us will ever have is not money. It is the love of someone who is truly ours. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone you love today. Right now. Don't wait.